to working hard. After university, his focus turned towards his family. I hope one day to look upon my future wife in the same way he's always looked at my mother. And after 34 years of marriage, I still haven't seen that look fade. My sisters and I are lucky to have their relationship as the foundation of our family. Believe it or not, but my father is an extremely talented musician, blessed with a great voice and even greater songwriting skills. He's never been a stranger to the microphone, performing in front of large crowds for much of his youth, long before the politics. Music's always been at the center of our family. And although dancing might not be our main strength, it's always on rhythm and it's always from the heart. Back to more serious matters, seeing my dad go out into the world and make his mark has been a fascinating inspiration to watch as I've grown up. He went from corporate lawyer to investment banker to entrepreneur to senator to minister of justice to member of parliament to the president of the PNP and now the opposition leader. The final chapter, the next prime minister of our great island. It's been quite a journey that I've had the privilege of watching from up close. But no pressure on me, right? While each of these roles has been more important and demanding than the previous, he's never once failed at being a present and attentive father to his kids and a husband to my mother. He's now even a grandfather to my young niece, who's blessed with the full head of hair that he once had. Even though he always puts Jamaica before himself, family will always be a priority, for that is our way. Dad, for everything we are and everything we will become, you are the reason. Thank you. Thank you, Dad.
Good evening, comrades, wherever you're joining us from across the diaspora, whether it's New York, Toronto, London, or right in the Caribbean. I greet you with love and with purpose and with power. Welcome to the People's National Party Diaspora Virtual Rally. Today, we gather as one family, bound by not just by blood or birthplace, but by a deep and burning love for Jamaica. A love that moves us to act, to rise, and to rally for change. I am Comrade Jason Evans, proudly representing East Rural St. Andrew, or from East Rural St. Andrew, and I am honored to be your co-host today. This evening is not just a rally, it's a call to action. It's time for us in the diaspora, if we can, go home and vote, because our voice matters at the poll. It's time to call our family members and friends in Jamaica and remind them to vote for the People's National Party. It's time to even donate, because every single dollar helps to push this mission forward. And it's time, if you are not a member of the People's National Party, to start your membership today, because staying connected keeps our movement strong. We in the diaspora are not just watching from afar, we are a part of the engine for change. And today, we are recommitting to that cause. Together, we can secure not just a brighter future, but a more progressive Jamaica. So my fellow friends in the diaspora watching us today, get ready, because the change is coming. Get ready for our People's National Party government. Get ready for Mark Jefferson Golding to be our next Prime Minister. Once again, welcome to our rally, and I will go over to my co-host, Shari.
Good afternoon, comrades. Good afternoon, comrades across the globe. I am Shari and Henry, proud daughter of Jamaica and the mighty South St. Andrew, and your host from the Canada Zone. Let me be clear, the time has come. For too long, our people have endured corruption in high places, rising inequality, schools without resources, and hospitals without basic supplies. While some prosper off privilege, too many are left far behind in silence. But this afternoon, we raise our voices in unity, diaspora and yard, hand in hand. This is not just another rally. It's a declaration that our future can't wait. We are the movement, we are the message, and we are the change. Jamaica, the time has come. Let's move forward together.
Perfect. Thank you, my co-host Sharian. We're happy to be here, and we have some dynamic diaspora speaker who will kick off our rally. And Shari, back over to you to introduce our first speaker.
So our first speaker this afternoon is Miss Angela Francis, and she's originally from St. Mary. She is the co-chair of the PNP Diaspora Northeast USA Division, and she's a former executive member of the PNPYO and current resident of New York City.
Oh, thank you very much, co-host. Good evening, fellow Jamaicans and members of the Jamaican diaspora.
Raise the fist and shout out power. Raise the voice and say it louder. Rock your body if you love Jamaica. Rock your body if you really love Jesus. Come and make we cross over. Come and make we cross over.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Jamaicans and members of the Jamaican diaspora. On behalf of my co-host, Comrade Michael Wilshire, and members of the PNP Diaspora Northeast Division, I thank you for joining this rally. Fellow members of the proud and caring Jamaican diaspora, on August 28, 1938, members of the Jamaica Progressive League were invited to participate in the initial discussions regarding the urgent need to form a political party to advocate for universal adult suffrage, self-government, land reform, and political independence for their homeland, Jamaica. They played a pivotal role in the formation of the People's National Party. Throughout its history, the PNP has always chosen Jamaica and the Jamaican people. The party chose to build a Jamaica where all Jamaicans are treated with dignity. Don't forget the passing of legislation to make sure no bastard no day again. They chose to build a Jamaica where home ownership became possible through the National Housing Trust. They chose to build a Jamaica that created the Common Entrance Scholarship Program that helped to break down the colonial barriers to education, and later, under Michael Manley, free education. I would go on, but there is no time. But just to note, most importantly, and above all else, they chose a Jamaica where corruption was not normalized. For us, comrades, choosing Jamaica is not simply empty rhetoric, nor a political expedient slogan chosen to obfuscate and fool people. Mark Golden, our party leader, has committed that under his leadership, the People's National Party will deliver quality representation, efficient management of government, and good governance to the people of Jamaica. The PNP under him will undoubtedly be champions of change. As you have seen, he's a man of his word, a compassionate man, a hard worker, fearless with an unblemished character. According to pollster Don Anderson, 130,000 PNP supporters did not vote in the 2020 election, and comrades, we saw what happened. Comrades, we cannot afford a repeat of 2020. So, according to Michael Manley, we have to mobilize, and get out the votes. Comrades, as Dr. King once said, there's a fierce urgency of now. As members of the diaspora, we must once again rise to our historic mission of saving and choosing Jamaica. Comrades and friends, we must work assiduously to ensure the victory of the People's National Party in the upcoming elections. Encourage friends and family to go out and vote. Comrades, time come for the diaspora to once again play a pivotal role in the future of our beloved country. Time come to use our power and resources to build a better Jamaica for all. Time come to vote for the People's National Party. Forward ever, backward never. One love.
Thank you so much, Comrade Angela Francis. And just to let everyone know, Comrade Angela is in the UK, and she has already secured her ticket money for whenever the date is called, that she will be in Jamaica to participate in the elections. Coming to us next, we have one of our very own in the diaspora, from all the way Angela is from New York, and she will be flying to Jamaica as soon as the date is announced. But coming to us now from the UK, and comrades, you know we love the politics, because in the UK it is almost midnight, but comrades are watching in the UK to be here today. So coming to us now, we have Mr. Calvert Barclay, who is originally from Mount James and is currently the chair of the PNP UK and a former chair of the PNP YO for West Rural St. Andrew. Comrades, make welcome Comrade Calvert.
One PNP party man. Why PNP we a boom? PNP party a boom. Yes, my goal in a boom. My goal in you a boom.
My comrades and friends, I bring you greetings from PNP UK. There is no doubt, comrades, that at this point we are at a very crucial point in the life of our nation. Comrades and friends, there's an urgent need to restore hope to the vast number of Jamaicans who are on the brink or who have already lost hope. Totally unacceptable is the high level of crime, corruption, nepotism, a broken education system, a decimated healthcare system, and this list goes on and on. No well-thinking Jamaican will dispute the fact that the level of government corruption seen in the last 9 years is the highest ever seen in the history of this country. Must say, the amount of public scandal and corruption too much for count from a 2 and 2 foot. We say this government has lost the moral authority to govern. I therefore urge all Jamaicans at home and abroad to do everything in their power to bring about this well-needed change of government. Our future and the future of our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren depend on it. For those of us in the diaspora, it's very important that we reach out to everyone within our sphere of influence. That is, family members, friends, and associates in Jamaica, and convince them to go out and put their X against the head on election day. Comrades and friends, the PNP administration is totally committed to providing Jamaicans in the diaspora the opportunity to contribute to nation building in a more meaningful way. In fact, creation of diaspora region as a 7th region in the party structure is a first step towards that, as this will allow for their membership in the party for Jamaicans living abroad and the opportunity to make relevant recommendations regarding policy initiatives, etc., in a new PNP government. So, comrades and friends, whether you are in the PNP, when you are in the PNP, whether you're in the UK, other parts of Europe, USA, Canada, or the wider Caribbean, I urge you to visit the PNP website to complete and submit your membership application form as soon as possible. comrades and friends, time come for positive change. Time come to secure a brighter future. Do the right thing. Put your ex beside the head and encourage all persons in your network to do so also. The word is love.
Thank you, Comrade Barclay. So our next diaspora speaker is Dr. Oliver Falloon, and he hails from the beautiful parish of Portland. Any Portlanders in the building, big up yourself. Mr. Falloon, he now makes South Florida his home, and he's the PNP Diaspora Southeast USA Division Chair. Comrades, friends, Jamaicans, let us welcome Dr. Oliver Falloon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the people them listen again, yeah. Calling our comrades in this moment, it's time to raise your hand. And may we continue to put in the work and improve Jamaica land. From 1938, we are lead the way and that never change. And today the strong foundation from way back when remains. We're moving forward, we not turn back, building Jamaica, yes, block by block. The People's Party work.
Greetings, comrades, greetings, friends, greetings all here in Jamaica and wherever you are in the diaspora. Thank you for joining us. I'm currently sitting in West Portland in the constituency office. I had the great hospitality of occupying Comrade Doreen Campbell Forbes' office right now, and people are excited, they're ready. They have already decided that time come. But I have some housekeeping business to do this evening, and I'm going to go straight to it. As you well know, the diaspora has been designated the diaspora region, comprised of 6 zones. It means Jamaica nationals over 18 years old who are normally domiciled outside Jamaica may become direct diaspora members of the People's National Party. That is huge. Direct diaspora membership accords all the rights and privileges assigned by the party's constitution. It also means that you can get more involved and have direct impact and can make a richer contribution to your party. Join ad hoc committees, participate on commissions, participate in electing representatives to the National Council. However, this is not automatic. And so I am calling you now. It's a call to action. You must apply for membership, provide your credentials, add your references, and get this done. Time come. It's time to take action. And so now, therefore, I'm appealing to our diaspora comrades to apply for membership to become direct diaspora members of the People's National Party. Go to pnp.org.jm, scroll to membership, diaspora membership, and apply. Comrades, we're ready, we're committed, our leadership is ready, they're competent, and we need to get behind them and get this movement going. Time come, time come. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reid. Dr. Reid is already in Jamaica to show his commitment to the People's National Parties in Portland. And members of the diaspora, we're imploring you, if you can go home to vote, let us do it. Coming to you next and final to wrap up this segment is our very own co-chair of the International Diaspora Affairs Commission. No other person is also from Kingston, Jamaica, is our own Dia Walker-Huntington, who is behind the organization of this rally, and we want to introduce her. Comrades, introduce to you, Comrade Dia Huntington.
Time come now, people are balling, can't take no more. Know that the crime reach at everybody door. Uptown, them a leak shot. Downtown, everybody have to get flat. They don't have a clue how we stop the crime.
Greetings, Jamaicans at home and all across the world. Time come for a better day in our beloved homeland, Jamaica. I left Jamaica over 40 odd years ago, but like most of you, Jamaica never left me. We who live in the diaspora, we live and breathe Jamaica every day. We talk to family and friends every day. We read the newspapers online every day. We watch the online shows every day. We know what I want. And what I want is that Jamaicans need to vote for the PNP to rescue Jamaica from the three-card man, from the con man, from the corruption done. I grew up in a PNP household because Jamaica was and is the foundation. PNP was and is the party that looked out for the poor in the society. PNP was and is the party that gives justice to the marginalized. It was the party that gave us free education. Michael Manley afforded me the best education and the basis on which I stand today. So the PNP chose Jamaica from 1938. We not just choose Jamaica the other day because election had come. Listen to me, friends. We have children in Jamaica leaving school right now who can't read or write or do arithmetic. That can't continue. We in the diaspora are treasured by the PNP. Don't forget that it was the PNP who introduced the notion of a diaspora to the people of Jamaica in P.J. Patterson and Delano Franklin. And today, it is the PNP in the person of Mark Jefferson Golding, who said he wanted to have a deeper relationship with the supporters who live overseas. And he has lived up to his word. Because here we are today, the diaspora, a region of the party. People listening to me, our jobs in the diaspora until the gate fly is to call all our friends and family in Jamaica and talk to them. Make sure that they go out and vote for the PNP. And if you have a vote, get on a plane and go home and put your X beside the head and vote to rescue Jamaica. Because we are blood and fire comrades, but the word is always love.
Thank you, Comrade Delia. And as Comrade Delia said, it's not about choosing Jamaica, but it's rescuing Jamaica. So for those comrades and friends in the diaspora, you're just a plane ticket away to rescue Jamaica. So our next speaker, we now move to the national speakers, and our next speaker is Reverend Dr. Paul Blake. Now, he's the head of the PNP Patriots, which is the professional affiliate arm of the People's National Party. He's Reverend Dr. Blake, and he's a respected voice within the professional and academic community of the PNP, and of course, he's a young firebrand. Comrades, let us welcome Dr. Blake.
Good evening, comrades. I bring you greetings from the young professional of the People's National Party, the Patriots, grounded, mobilized, and ready for change. As the president of the Patriots, let me make it plain that time come for a better life and time come for leadership that is serious about a Jamaica that works for all and not just a privileged few. Now, I know many of you left Jamaica many years because you had, or even recently because you had no choice, no opportunity, no future in farming. But the truth is, you never left Jamaica behind. You send remittances, you support schools, you build homes, and now Jamaica needs you again. And because what is happening under an Andrew Holness-led administration is a disgrace. He promised prosperity, but we see poverty. He said farmers would be supported, but they're left begging for water. He told us food security matters, but the food import bill ballooned to over 1.2 billion US dollars, while our own farmers in St. Elizabeth, St. Mary, and Clarendon struggle to sell what they grow. Barefaced lies, empty promises, and the youth are tired of it. We fed up. But under Mark Golding, we are not just offering talk, we are offering transformation. And let me tell you what the PNP are standing on and what we're bringing when we get into government. One, we want to reduce the food import bill by 25% in the next 5 years. So we will cut back unnecessary foreign spending and poor investment into Jamaican farmers to grow what we eat. We're going to we're going to set up a special economic zone for agriculture. That's land, irrigation, tech, and infrastructure dedicated to high production, youth-led, export-ready farming zone. It is time agriculture become a pathway to success, not punishment. And thirdly, we want to have a 9 local farmers to supply schools. And why import when our farmers in Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, the name of few, can supply fresh, healthy meals to our school children? This isn't charity, it is economic justice. We're going to fix the irrigation and farm roads. No farmer should be one drought or patrol away from poverty. We're going to invest in infrastructure so that the farmer in St. Anne and the mother in Junction can both thrive. And post-harvest infrastructure, we're going to set up cold storage to transport. We will stop the loss between the field and the fork. We're going to have linkages between the tourism sector and so Jamaican food for our visitors. No more hotel menus filled with foreign lettuce while local crops here are rot. And to my diaspora family, this is your moment too. Help us to build Jamaica that works for all of us. Help us to invest in a Jamaica that will be successful under the People's National Party. Time come for a better life. Time come for the PNP, and time come for Mark Jefferson Golding. Thank you.
Make the trumpets play. Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Paul Blake, the young, brilliant minds that we have in the People's National Party. And coming to us next, we have a lady who will be retiring, Favour Williams. We have our own, the president of the People's National Party Women's Movement, a strong voice for gender and equity, a woman who is a worker and a warrior for the People's National Party, who will be walking up Garden House. Please make welcome Patricia Duncan Sutherland.
My leaders and sorry about that. I didn't realize I had music. But yes, but we are the independent ladies for real. Yes, and so I want to acknowledge and Comrade Angela, right, leaders of this diaspora, our movement in the diaspora. And I want to acknowledge our party leader and the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Comrade Mark Jefferson Golding, and the officers of the party who are here with us, Comrade Nikisha Burchell as a Deputy Gensec, and our Gensec, Comrade Dayton Campbell, and of course, Dr. Blake. All right. You know, it is really good to be here to have this conversation with the diaspora on the brink of an election that we are confident that we will win, and that so therefore we are getting ourselves ready to form the next government. And I'm proud to be a part of that team that will be the next government, not just in the context of being president of the PNP Women's Movement, but also in the context of being a member of parliament for Eastern St. Andrew, as well as shadow spokesperson on social transformation and protection. And in that context, as president of the PNP Women's Movement, I'm particularly proud because we have 22 female candidates. 1/3 of the candidates, or more than 1/3, are female, which is a step in the right direction. And you know, our leaders are clear that inclusiveness must be a part of any policy that we make. Inclusiveness of women, inclusive of young people, as you would have heard Comrade Paul Blake talking about how we are including some of our policies will target young people. and inclusiveness of our elderly. And when I'm speaking to you as a diaspora, one of the things that I am very aware of, that apart from the fact that you are still very connected to your families and help your families financially in Jamaica, that there is a large portion of our diaspora who will retire in Jamaica. So we have to get Jamaica ready for you when you are ready to come back to Jamaica. And that means our healthcare has to be ready for you. And we have to take that into consideration when we look at our policies. And so inside of the healthcare policies, Dr. Dawes would have spoken many times to the need for setting up a proper urgent care system, and for putting back the testing facilities back in the hospitals. So when there is an emergency or when care is required, people don't have to go and seek health care outside, because it's difficult, especially for Jamaicans right now. I have one elder, just barely elder, 62 years old man in my constituency who has prostate cancer and is at home in bed and now needs 194,000 just to do an MR and a CT scan to find out how far the cancer has spread. It's just a difficult time, but we know that a PNP government can rescue Jamaica from that. And the last point that I would like to make, because I'm very aware, is that in that context of getting Jamaica ready for the diaspora, we know that security is going to be a very important thing for us. And so therefore, in that context, social transformation, because the crime doesn't go out of nowhere, right? People have to have hope to not choose crime as a way of life. And we have to create those pathways to hope for our young people and create that way that they can see how they can make their lives without choosing crime. And also to see how they can resolve issues without resorting to violence. And so in that regard, we are looking to increase our capacity with respect to social workers and how we deploy those social workers in the context of a peace management initiative, in the context of having social workers looking at families rather than individuals. So, as a member of a fantastic team and an excellent team, I feel so proud as a comrade to be a part of this, and I'm looking forward to the diaspora's continued contribution, not just in the context of financial, not just in the context of coming back to Jamaica, but giving us our ideas so our policies can grow and truly be inclusive and be for all of Jamaica, because time come for a better life for Jamaicans.
Thank you so much, Comrade Patricia Duncan Sutherland. Coming to us next is our very own Deputy General Secretary of the People's National Party, the candidate of St. James Southern, who will be retiring one-term Member of Parliament, Omar Davis. Diaspora, I bring to you our very own Nikisha Burchell.
Hello to the men and women of the diaspora. My apologies, I'm out in the field here in South St. James. I'm Nikisha Burchell, and as Comrade Jason said, I am the candidate in South St. James going up against the JLP's candidate. I'm not going to speak his name and give it any more life. But I'm also a Deputy General Secretary of the People's National Party, and I'm helping in some way, some shape, to refine the PNP's communication strategy. I want to thank everyone who's on call today for being here, and thank you so very much for continuing to carry Jamaica's flag wherever you are in your hearts, no matter where in the world you've decided to make home. Whether you're in the US, the UK, Canada, or elsewhere, your love is what fuels us and helps us to shine and bring Jamaica's flag around the world. This coming election for us is one of the most important in my lifetime, and perhaps in your lifetime as well. And I want to make it clear that Jamaica needs the People's National Party, and the People's National Party needs the diaspora in order to make that happen. Under the leadership of Mark Jefferson Golding, The PNP is offering real, credible governance. We're offering a credible plan to tackle the cost of living, to fix our healthcare system, to support our farmers, empower our youth, and build a safer, fairer society. We're not here to play politics. We're here to rebuild trust and somehow restore opportunity and return government to the service of the people. The current JLP government has failed to deliver. They've been heavy on talk, light on results, and even lighter on integrity. But change is within your grasp. The People's National Party is on its way, and that's where you, as a diaspora, comes in. Even if you can't vote, because you somehow aren't registered in Jamaica and you never ever voted here before, you can still help. You can call your friends, you can call your family in Jamaica and encourage them to go out and vote for the People's National Party. You can also join one of our phone banking teams. They will connect you with some voters that you can call, canvass, and give them the reasons why they should support the People's National Party. Of course, you can partner with a candidate in Jamaica, and Dela will tell you much more about that. Many of us are doing this work with limited resources. Your support, whether it is financial or your physical time or whatever you can connect us with through your networking capacity, it will help us to tip the scale in our favor. And right now, many of us are preparing for back to school. We have various back to school ventures that we're undertaking as teams to support the students going back to school in our constituencies. And so you can consider sponsoring a student or sending some supplies to us or sending some money that we can help them to prepare for back to school. Myself, Comrade Andre Horton, and I know of a few others, we have an Amazon wish list that we circulate, and it makes it easy for you to buy a couple of books, some pencils, something, and you can ship it to our address in America, and we will get it here in Jamaica to help the kids. In South St. James, I want to personally say a big thank you to Comrade K. Marie and John T. Hodges and the team that has been supporting us. Their unwavering support really and truly is something that we didn't know that we would be receiving, but since it's been on board, we are really grateful for it. They're a faithful force behind us, and we're grateful for it. Brothers and sisters, Jamaica time come. Time come for honest leadership, time come for opportunity, time come for the People's National Party. I want you to help us to bring it home for not just the PNP, but for Jamaica. One phone call, $1, one donation, one conversation at a time. Thank you very much. God bless you where you are. God bless Jamaica, land we love.
Thank you very much, Deputy General Secretary and next Member of Parliament. Looking forward to seeing you in Garden House. And comrades in the diaspora, please donate to this party. If you go on the website, www. and I'll just read it out for you so that you can know where to go and vote and donate to the People's National Party. It's pnp.org.gm, so you can go there and donate to the People's National Party. And remember, comrades in the diaspora, if you're able to go home and vote, we're encouraging you to do so. And if you can't, please call your friends and families and tell them time come to vote for honest governance. Time come to vote for a leader with integrity, a leader whose name is not marred by corruption, a leader who can represent Jamaica on the international stage, a leader who is not embarrassed to go anywhere because his name is not calling in any corruption. And that is Comrade Mark Jefferson Golding. So my fellow diaspora members, if you're able to go out, please go out, call your friends, call your family, and encourage them to vote for the People's National Party. And if you're able to donate, please go to pnp.org.jm and click the donation button. And we're looking forward for your support as we rescue Jamaica from this corrupt and uncaring government. And over to you, Sharian.
Thank you, Comrade Jason. Now we're down to the wire. Our next speaker is our Comrade General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell. He's a medical doctor, the strategy master, shadow spokesperson on agriculture, the party's candidate for Eastern Westmoreland, poor people defender, Miss Lucky's son, the general secretary for the People's National Party. Welcome, Comrade Dr. Dayton Campbell.
Now go ahead, come in for the make no money. Worries again, Mr. Bailey. Sure, man. Take your time, no man. Follow me. Me, I got bikini. Say me, I got bikini. So all you want to me, say you can't stop me. Got bikini. Say me, I got bikini. So all you want to me, say you can't.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. To our incoming Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Golding, and to Comrade Daly and all the other members here from the Region 7, and of course, persons, officers and members of different arms and affiliates, and also those who are viewing online. Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here with you today. I'm in transit from a funeral in Westmoreland and heading across to St. Thomas, but I paused for worthy cause to be here to share a few things with you today. And I pretty much just want to give an update as to where we are as a party, what we've been up to, and so that you can be fully on board with what we're doing and what our vision is. In terms of the campaigning, not the policy part. I leave that part to the leader. So politically, we came out of the local government elections last year, and I think we've been buoyed by that. Since that time, we have been focusing on getting our house in order for the general elections. We started out early, putting our candidates in place, and we had all our candidates in place before the end of 2024, which I think was a good thing for us to have done. It gives them adequate time to be on the ground, to meet their constituents, and so that they can become familiar with them, share their vision, share their plans, and also fine-tune the organizational stuff. We then went into 2 by-elections, and what the Labour Party thought was going to be an easy win for them, by calling those 2 the Friday before their annual conference. We went in and we won both of those by-elections, including the Anian Town division, which we had lost earlier last year in the local government election. And I think that is when the country and some persons took notice that the PNP is back and that we are ready. We have consistently been checking the pulse of the people to see where we are as a party and where do we stack up compared to our opponents. And for the last 2.5 years, we have been polling ahead of the Labour Party, and they have been unable to pass 30%. So I think that also speaks to the level of work that has been put in. And I want to say commendations to the leader of the party, who has been extremely diligent and hardworking. I think it is well accepted now that of all the leaders we've had before, that this is the one that has spent the most time on the ground connecting with the people. And I believe that Marky G is now a household name in Jamaica. And it is because of the tremendous effort that has been put in by the leader of the party. We're up against an opponent that is not afraid to misconstrue information and doctor up information. And so we have to always be out there correcting things. And I want for persons, especially persons in the diaspora, as you view things, as you watch what is going on in the campaign, that, you know, you always be mindful of the information that you are consuming. We know that there are also other computer-generated things that persons are using to try and shift the space to make it appear as if their favor. But I can tell you from what we're seeing on the ground, I don't even think that this election is going to be close. I think the PNP will win a resounding victory for the people of Jamaica. We went out early in the year to ensure that we got our organization in place in terms of our workers in place and making sure that we did our canvas and those things. We started a spokesperson road program in February to send out the spokespersons to walk with the candidates in their communities. We pulled forward the divisional conferences to March, and we had 3 months of divisional conferences, 228 of them across the length and breadth of Jamaica. And when we came into July, we kicked it off with a bus tour doing half of the island, and we will complete that in short order. And then we went into our parish meetings. So far, I think we have done 6, and tonight will be the 7th one out of that. I think that has really galvanized the base, energized the base of the party, and we're looking to use that to sweep us into government. I am very pleased with the effort that has been put out by the comrade candidates who have been in the field for a prolonged period of time, and they have caused the Prime Minister not to be able to call the elections. He's taking it right down to the wire because PNP has been working hard and he does not see a window of opportunity for him to win. And we will continue to put in that work. I want to encourage persons who are overseas to continue to support us online. You know, when we're having our meetings, view, share the link so other persons can hear the message from the party, to continue to call your relatives back home, encourage them to go out there and vote to return dignity to Jamaica. The Jamaica that we are now seeing under the Labour Party is not what we are used to. That's not who we are as a people. We are a people, even though at times we might be poor, but we are people that are proud. We have pride, we have dignity. And the moral compass in the society is broken currently, and we need to fix that. So we have been saying that time come for a better life, because in every era that you can look at, there is something that's broken that needs to be fixed. In the education sector, just the number of students passing 5 subjects has moved from 28% in 2016 to 18% in 2024. In agriculture, they have doubled the food importation bill. In healthcare, the maternal and infant mortality rate is higher than it was 30 years ago. Everywhere you turn, there is a problem, and there's a lot of work that we will have to do to rescue Jamaica, but it is a task that we are up to, and we have one of the most qualified persons that could put themselves forward leading the team. And so I really just want to encourage you to continue to support. You know, you have influence over your people who are back home. Call them, tell them to go out there and support, you know, knock on a door, do some canvas, do something to get the PNP to victory. It is an important election, and one that Jamaica needs the PNP to win so that we can have meaningful change in the society. As I said, it's an absolute pleasure to be here, to know that this has become a reality, that we can have a Diaspora regional conference. Again, commendations to our party leader for the vision of ensuring that we can include all Jamaicans, those at yard and those abroad. Respect due. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Comrade Jensek. So our next speaker is a lawyer, a businessman, a visionary leader of the People's National Party, the Integrity Boss, Member of Parliament for the mighty South St. Andrew, the People's Champion for social justice, equity, economic parity, and the leader of the People's National Party, the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mark Jefferson Golden.
Yes, man. Marching on to progress. Comrades of the diaspora, all of my comrades who are speakers on this online rally. I greet you well. I greet you in the name of the mighty People's National Party. And the word is love. I want to thank the speakers so far for their contributions. And I want to thank the organizers of this online event. And in particular, the co-chair of the International Diaspora Affairs Commission, Dia Walker-Huntington. Comrades, the diaspora is a critical part of Jamaica, and the People's National Party has, over the last few years, made a big effort to try to integrate the diaspora more into the core of what the party does. That is why we've amended our constitution to recognize the diaspora as our seventh region and to provide the rights to members of the party who are in the diaspora. First of all, allowing persons who may not be on the voters list here because they don't live in Jamaica, but are Jamaican citizens to join the PNP and become part of the Region 7, the diaspora region. And I urge everyone who is listening and watching this rally to join the party and to make a contribution to a better Jamaica, a better life, and a better politics by using the vehicle of the People's National Party to do so. We are at a crucial time in our history. We are at a time when we'll be facing the polls imminently. The Prime Minister has been running scared, and he has not called the election despite the 5th anniversary, which is the date that the Parliament will be dissolved automatically by the Constitution, being less than 2 months away. So, we have been preparing ourselves, and the preparations have borne fruit. And the General Secretary just took you through some of the more important aspects of that preparation. And I want to thank him publicly again for the work he has done as our general on the ground and organizationally to take us from where we were, nearly 5 years ago to where we are today, where we have been ahead in the polls for nearly 2 years, where we put in a very commendable performance in the local government elections in February last year, including, of course, winning the popular vote quite comfortably, winning an equal number of councils and mayorships, and, of course, winning the major ones of the corporate area and St. Catherine and Portmore. So big up to my General Secretary for the work he has been doing. This election is being fought on a platform of progress. The People's National Party is looking to introduce policies and reforms that will make Jamaica a better place and make the lives of our people better in very practical ways. Starting in the area of governance, we are committed to strengthening the institutional framework of anti-corruption in the country. We're at a time when the government of the day has done its best to weaken the Integrity Commission, the Financial Investigations Division, and so on. These are institutions that exist to support our governance and our politics and our democracy. We will continue to make those institutions stronger. We will not interfere with them politically, and we will make some amendments to the law to ensure that they can do their work more effectively, including, for example, a modification of the gag clause, the so-called gag clause, which has been very controversial and which prevents them from disclosing any matters under investigation until they table their final report in Parliament. Because of the duration that they take to complete these reports, you often have protracted periods where people know that there is persons under investigation because in their annual report, the Integrity Commission will say that there are 7 or 9 or 10 persons under investigation for illicit enrichment who sit in Parliament, but nobody knows who they are. And we think that that is wrong. For example, in this coming general election, there will be people on the ballot who may be under investigation and no one will know. That, I think, is untenable, and the PNP plans to fix that. We're also looking at other things, such as fixed election dates, and we're looking at requiring the publication of a summary of the financial filings, the integrity declarations of all members of the executive. We want to strengthen governance in the country. And these are things we think that uncommitted voters, persons who may not be too into politics, may not be too interested in voting, may come on board and support our party because they see this as a decent party, a party that is pursuing good governance, more honest governance, more transparent governance. In critical areas such as education and healthcare, the People's National Party is looking at practical programs to make lives better for our people. In education, we want to establish the First in Family Scholarship, whereby anyone who qualifies for a place at university or college, any tertiary institution, if they are the first person in their family to do so, they will get a full scholarship under the next People's National Party government. Our thinking there is to enhance the prospects of the whole family that that person comes from, so that they will be able to uplift their brothers and sisters and other relatives by virtue of the benefits that will be bestowed on them by pursuing tertiary education. There are so many children out there who suffer because they cannot overcome the financial obstacles for further study. And for those who don't qualify for that scholarship for whatever reason, we plan to modify the terms of lending of the Student Loan Bureau to make them less frightening for especially low-income borrowers, so that we're going to cap the monthly payment at a percentage of the student's actual income. And that will ensure that they can continue to function and live comfortably, even though they're carrying the student debt. Right now, many of them struggle with it and end up on getting a bad credit rating, and their prospects are blighted. And we think that's quite wrong. And it discourages children from low-income families from even applying for student loans and investing in their education. And we intend to turn that around. In housing, where there's a huge shortage of affordable housing in the country. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, there was a boom in upscale homes, apartments uptown, and condominiums and other facilities uptown for prices way out of range and out of reach for ordinary Jamaicans, including public servants and self-employed persons who own small businesses. We plan to build 50,000 units over the next 5 years. Right across Jamaica on public lands that are not suitable for agriculture. And we intend to do so by raising the capital in creative ways to enable us to do this. We're also going to restore the National Housing Trust to its original mission of Comrade Michael Manley, which was to provide housing solutions for the working class of the country and those who need the help of the state to own a home. This government has, for the last 10 years, taken $11.4 billion out of the NHT every year to fund the national budget. We will stop that and leave those resources in the NHT so that it can carry out its mandate more effectively. And we're going to do a number of things within the NHT to make it easier for young people and others to own a home. For example, we're establishing a $1 billion fund within the NHT called the Young Person Deposit Fund. Any young person who joins the NHT and has contributed for 2 years or more will be able to get a grant, a non-refundable grant. They don't have to pay it back, of 500,000 Jamaican dollars to pay down on their first home. This will enable many of them to buy one of these 50,000 units that we will be building for the people. We're also going to cut out the insurance costs for the lowest rung of NHT borrowers and have the NHT absorb the insurance costs rather than passing that on to those borrowers who are at the bottom of the income ladder. And we have the rent-to-own scheme, which is a creative process idea that would allow somebody who can't prove their income because they're not formally employed in a firm that generates a monthly or fortnightly pay slip. They will be able to go into one of these houses as a tenant. And if they make the monthly payments, which would be equal to what the mortgage would be, on a consistent basis for 6 months, we will treat that as having been proof of income, and they will qualify for the loan. They can draw down the mortgage and convert themselves from a tenant to an owner of the home and own a piece of this rock with their own door key. We have very progressive policies in the area of agriculture. We want to establish the Agricultural Development Fund, using a portion of the income that the country earns from the importation of food, because there's an import tax on imported food. We want to use a portion of that tax to set up this Agricultural Development Fund, and we will then use those resources to really get behind the agricultural industry. Better farm roads, storage facilities, credit through the PC banks, the People's Cooperative Banks, to our farmers, and so on, to enable them to have proper land preparation and generally support production to reclaim some of the lost sales that are going to farmers overseas. As was mentioned, the imported food bill has more or less doubled under the JLP since we were last in office. And we want to bring some of that production back to Jamaica to save foreign exchange and to provide more wealth and income to our farmers across Jamaica. These are some of the ideas that we have. There are many others. We have plans for the creative and cultural industries. We have social justice plans to ensure beach access for our people. We want to get rid of the use of contract work, which denies many of our workers the rights that are in law for employees. This was done for the security guard industry after a court ruling in their favor, and we believe it needs to be extended right across the economy so that the contract work device cannot be used to deprive our workers of the basic package of rights that were largely given to them by the People's National Party in the 1970s. These are some of the progressive ideas that we want to roll out when we form government. So, as you can see, we're on a road to progress. We're on the road to transformational leadership, and we want to ensure that we leave Jamaica better than we found it. And so I'm asking all of you, as others have done, to encourage persons here in Jamaica who you may have some say or influence over to go out on election day and vote for the candidate of the People's National Party. I encourage you, if you are on the voters list in Jamaica, to come home, have a little short vacation and come and vote for your PNP candidate on election day. And any other forms of support that you can give to your party, I encourage you to do so. And as I've said already, join the PNP if you haven't already joined. Be part of the PNP family and help to build your nation by playing an active role in the politics of the country. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this rally. God bless you all. The word is love.
Everything they wrote down, we are gonna feel back. We are gonna feel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, DJ. Thank you very much, DJ. Thank you very much, our next Prime Minister. Thank you very much to our next Prime Minister, Mark Jefferson Golding. Before we go, comrades, I want to salute every Jamaican tuning in from across the globe. From Brooklyn to Birmingham to South Florida, Cayman, Bahamas, Toronto, New York, and beyond. The diaspora is alive, engaged, and ready. Now, we have heard some of the visions, we have felt the energy, and we have seen the future. It is bright, and we are ready. From every nook and cranny of the globe, the diaspora is rising. And we are ready for the People's National Party. We are ready for the first in the family scholarship. We are ready for the rent-to-own and home ownership programs of the People's National Party. We are ready to see youth empowered. We are ready to see our farmers being supported. We are ready for our country to be governed with integrity. And most importantly, we are ready for Comrade Mark Jefferson Golding to be the Prime Minister of Jamaica. So here's the call, comrades. Go home if you can, if you're on the voters list, and vote. And if you are If you are unable to do so, please call your families and friends, encourage them to vote for the People's National Party. Donate to the mission if you can. Stay engaged, stay connected. And at some point, be sure to visit the electoral office of Jamaica, www.ecj.com.gm, to check if you're eligible and registered to vote. Let's make history together. Now, as we close this rally, we raise our hearts and our voice in one, and we declare that Jamaica is ready. Jamaica is ready for Mark Jefferson Golding, our next Prime Minister. Now we will play one verse of Jamaica Arise.
The trumpet has sounded, my countrymen all, so awake from your slumber and answer the call. The torch has been lighted, the dawn is at hand. Who joins in the fight for his own native land? Land of my birth, I pledge to thee, loyal and faithful, true.
Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much, speakers. Thank you very much for those joining us online. We appreciate you. The word is love. Stay connected to the People's National Party. God bless you.